All right, let's go live. Hello, this is Nick Marine, and welcome to Let's Read Japanese, a course series for the reading of Japanese text alongside its audio counterpart. So today's episode is Shinya Shokudo, Season 2, Episode 5, or Episode 15, depending on it. It's the 15th show of the series, 5th show of the season. So there you go. All right, really not much to say. I don't know what the next episode is. I think it's like Kansume. So what that's going to be the meal of, or the food of the show. Really not much else to say about the show itself, so let's just go into the intro. So all right, so if you end up enjoying the episode, give it a thumbs up or make a comment about what you thought about it. Feedback's always welcome. If you like the series, you'd like to see more, subscribe to the channel. If this is all part of the Let's Learn Japanese project, if you like that project, what I'm doing to help the Japanese learning community, you can become a patron of the Patreon. Links down below. Show your support there. Finally, there's links to the Let's Learn Japanese website Otaku Dave put together, the community Discord. And finally, if you'd like to hire me on commission, the hourly rates and the payment is done via the Patreon as well, with the direct link below. And by commission, we usually technical assistance advice. How to get started in Japanese is normally what people ask for help on. All right, with that, let's get into it. Come on, get out of there. Come on. There we go. Let's put on the earphones. Before I start, I gotta say, I gotta be careful in thinking about what shows to do next. I'm trying to lean mainly on those that are available on Netflix now for the near term, but I do have a lot of videos available off, and those tend to be more popular, especially when it comes to dramas. Not anime so much as dramas. Somebody asked me, and I'm thinking about it, but doing the Weathering with You, thinking. What was it? Tinky? Yeah, I forgot the title of I forgot the Japanese title, but yes, it's usually called Weathering with You. I've never seen the movie, so I might watch the movie first and then do a let's read of the book, because I do have the audiobook. You can get on Audible. Got to make sure I can get access to the digital book. I don't know. I think I've got that, but need to make sure about that. And with both those together, yeah, I can do a let's read with no problem. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's get started. But yeah, I haven't been doing let's reads of audiobooks, though. Yeah, I do like it, so I should consider doing it now and again. All right, let's skip.
一日が終わり、
Where are we at here?
人々が家路へと急ぐ頃、俺の一日は始まる。営業時間は夜12時から朝7時頃まで。人は深夜食堂って言ってるよ。客が来るかって？それが結構来るんだよ。
Okay. Yes. Kansume. All right. Is this a flashback or right now? I wonder if maybe I'd get better. I'll start describing the scenes in Japanese. I doubt I will, but この彼女一人で気に入る。
何もわざわざうちに来て食べなくても良さそうなものを注文する客っているもんさ。もしサンマのかば焼き丼。
かば焼き丼。Come on. かば焼き。Eel. Okay. かば焼き。Okay. Looks good.
もしサンマのかば焼き丼。
Sanmono. Let's see if that's also a phrase right there. Sanmono. Oh, sanma. Sanma. Sorry. I don't know what that is, but okay. Sanma. Sanma no kabayaki don.
わしサンマのかば焼き丼。
待ってました。
Oh, okay. That
うちも商売だから一応サンマは温めてごまと海苔それから山椒ぐらい振りかけて出すけどね。
ごまと海苔それぐらい。It's like a mountain pepper. Sansho. Japanese pepper. Sansho.
ごまと海苔それから山椒ぐらい振りかけて出すけどね。いらっしゃい。いらっしゃい。
いらっしゃい。
じゃあビールください。
はいよ。
寝台だって言うから朝から
寝台だって。make sure, is that just
寝台だって言うから朝から並んだのにさ一日粘ってたったこんだけなんか作って。
What's that supposed to be? Goya? All I know, that particular vegetable, I think it's a root. No, I think it counts as a vegetable. I just don't like it. It's very bitter. Usually at the time I'll eat it is if it's mixed in with like eggs, scrambled eggs. But that's about it. I don't know. Even then, it's like really bitter for me. Sardines. Interesting. He's cooking it in the can like that, adding just a little bit of onions on top.
オイルサーデンの和風焼きと
和風焼きとオイルサーディンの和風焼きと
次はサバ缶のゴーヤチャンプル。
あ、サバ缶ゴーヤ There we go. ゴーヤゴーヤチャンプルBitter melon stir fry pork tofu. Yeah, stir fry. I just do not like the flavor. It is like super bitter. So saba. So that's the mackerel. Okay, saba kan.
次はサバ缶のゴーヤチャンプル。
Saba kan. Oh, goya chan.
いけるねさすがマスターの創作料理に間違いないな。
創作料理。Creative original dish. 創作料理。
さすがマスターの創作料理に間違いないな。
じゃあ僕たちもお願いしますか。
よし。
パイ缶はこのまま食べた方がいいんじゃないのかい？
パイガンパイナップル。OK。パイガンはこのまま食べた方がいや。
パイ缶はこのまま食べた方がいいんじゃないのかい？
でもこれでどんな料理ができるか楽しみです。
Oh, now let me make sure about something. Huh. That's all right. I was just getting an error on the YouTube warning that it's not looking very good. It's not getting enough data, is what it's saying.
これでいいの？
はい。パイナップル料理じゃなくて酢豚にパイナップル入れただけ。
Well, Subuta. Okay, so it's a Chinese dish. Sweet and sour pork. Subuta ni.
パイナップル料理じゃなくて酢豚にパイナップル入れただけ。
悪かったね。
とにかくいただきます。
美味しい。
うん。今時パイカンなんて珍しいね。
今時。
あ、拾ったんす。大学の映画サークルで自主映画作ってるんですけど。
Stunts. See, that's yeah. You don't. Oh yeah.
大学の映画サークル、あ、拾ったんす。
Stunts.
大学の映画サークルで自主映画作ってるんですけど。
自主映画。
大学の映画サークルで自主映画作ってるんですけど、その時のロケハンで。
ロケハン。ロケーション。ロケハン。
その時のロケハンで。口封じに殺された彼女は復讐。
Sealed? Not speaking? Muzzled. 口封じに殺された彼女に。ああ、OK。
口封じに殺された彼女は復讐の女神として蘇って不倫相手の教授をバシッと成敗する。
不倫相手の教授をバシッと成敗、総没する。punished。judgment。成敗。
口封じに殺された彼女は復讐の女神として蘇って不倫相手の教授をバシッと成敗する。しかし教授は逃げ出して逃げ出した教授はこの石段をダダッと駆け上がる。
ダダッと probably tapped step by step ダダッとダダイスム Freddy. There we go, probably that one. No, that's not that one.
逃げ出した教授はこの石段をダダッと駆け上がる。どうかな。お、いいねいいね。
No, that's like staircase. What was it? Kyodan? Ishidan. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that one more time.
逃げ出した教授はこの石段をダダッと駆け上がる。どうかな。お、いいねいいね。なんか書いてある。何？絹の道って書いてある。
Silk Road? 絹の道？絹の道。Get out of there.
絹の道ってシルクロード？
シルクロード。I just don't get that.
ロードって中国だよな。
そうだよな。
シルクロードって
砂漠だよな。
砂漠。Damn, I can't remember what that is. 砂漠。熱帯。Desert? 砂漠だよね。Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's a desert. Okay. I should have noticed that from the kanji. I mean, it's sand and, yeah, 砂漠. And vague or not often, yeah. They're not frequent or, yeah, vague, obscure desert. Yeah, 砂漠.
そうだよな。砂漠だよな。
砂漠だよな。絹の道。
なんだあれ。
なんだあれ。
お。
誰かが捨てたのかな。
でも積んであるしな。使うよりどり緑だなこれ。
よりどり緑。Let's see if let's make sure this thing. Anyone can take? よりどり。よりどり緑。
使うよりどり緑だなこれ。
賞味期限は？
賞味期限。
缶詰にもあんのそれ。
Now, I would say don't. Maybe it's being offered as sort of like a, maybe someone had passed away there, and so it's being kind of like an offering to the person, the spirit of where they had passed away at. And so you probably wouldn't want to just pick up something that's just stacked like that, because it's not thrown away. It's purposely placed there. I could be wrong though.
全然大丈夫。俺これ好き。
俺もじゃあ。
俺もじゃあ。
でもそんなとこに缶詰積んであるなんて気味悪くね？
そうっすか？
言われてみれば確かにちょっと。
こんばんは。
Wasn't she the girl at the beginning? And make sure about the Kikuno. Let's make sure she.
こんばんは。
Yeah, Kikuno.
日本酒冷やでください。
はいよ。
So I wonder if like she is a ghost. I can imagine a story doing it like that, something like that, but we'll see. Let's see.
食べます？
あ、ごめんなさい。美味しそうだったから。
いや、どうぞどうぞ。どうぞ。
あ、いいんですか？
はい。
じゃあ。美味しい。私パイナップルの入った酢豚が大好きなの。
酢豚。
どうぞどうぞ。もっと言ってください。
じゃあ。
It's just a little bit of time, so I'm not
要
gonna
はだ
skip.
ろ？ゾンビみたいにしたいってことだろ？
No, あれゾンビ
いや、単なるゾンビものじゃなくて、キャットウーマンみたいにダークヒーロー的なヒロインにしたいんだよね。
キャットマン、キャットマン。No, okay.
ダークヒーロー的なヒロインにしたいんだよね。
まあ。
Oh, never mind. Catman, woman, Catwoman. Sorry. I guess we're talking about but why zombie? I mean, there's cat people, but that's from like the 80s. And then there's cats. That's just the creepy Broadway production.
ロケ地はやり水でいいとして問題は主演女優だよな。
Lokechi, location? Lokechi, local site. Lokechi, what was that? Yarisui. So I guess it's the Yari. Let's look at that kanji real quick. Yeah, that is spear. I don't remember that as for spear. I thought that it was different kanji for spear. Yeah, that's the kanji I know about for spear. Okay, so it's just a different kanji. Interesting. It's not that complicated.
まあロケ地はやり水でいいとして問題は主演女優だよな。
主演女優。主演女優。
まあロケ地はやり水でいいとして問題は主演女優だよな。
あ、俺一人だけ心当たりある。
実は俺もいい感じの敵役見つけたんだよな。
敵役見つけて。その人に会っては待った。suitable position. 敵役。
実は俺もいい感じの敵役見つけたんだよな。うちの大学の子じゃないんだけど。あ、いらっしゃいませ。いらっしゃいませ。
Okay. Guess that's a game. Make her smile or sad. You do it with, people do it with money.
懐かしいことやってんな。
懐かしい。 Where are we at?
愛想笑いか一人泣きか。
愛想笑い。A loving smile, right? Polite smile. 愛想笑い。
愛想笑いか一人泣きか。私みたいだな。
Hear the squeaky bikes?
菊野さん、わかります俺のこと。
元気いっぱい元気くん。
元気いっぱい元気。
俺たちの映画のヒロインになってくれませんか？
映画？
自主大学のサークルで。
演技なんて無理。
大丈夫だよ、できるって。
どうして私なの？
寂しそうだし、それに綺麗だから。
考えさせて。
菊野さんが引き受けてくれたら勇気も絶対喜ぶと思うんだよね。菊野さんが引き受けてくれたら勇気も絶対喜ぶと思うんだよね。じゃあごめん、バイトの途中だから。
Lucky.
なんだありゃ。
なんだよ。
いた。俺のこと覚えてます？
勇気のある勇気くん。
Oh, okay. Okay, Genki. Genki Pai Yuki. Okay, gotcha. So I guess that's a joke for remembering names. Okay. Alright, sorry about that.
勇気のある勇気くん。
Yuki no aru Yuki-kun.
俺の映画に主演女優として出てほしくて。
Kinu no Michi, Kinuko, Kiku no. Kinu no Michi, Kiku no.
それって元気くんの？
あいつはカメラマン。俺脚本監督。
Where are we at? 脚本 okay. 脚本 and 劇映画などセリフ so yeah, that's the script playwright, okay. 脚本監督。
あいつはカメラマン。俺脚本監督。
どうして私なの？
影があって。影があって悩みがありそうで、それに綺麗だから。
考えさせて。
菊野さんがやってくれたら元気もすげえ張り切ってカメラ回すと思う。じゃあごめん、バイトの途中だから。
Why she said, well, to the other person on the other side, she looks happy. From this angle, she looks sad. Depends on your point of view. It's a ghost story. Where are we at here? Is there a long way? No, not too long.
いらっしゃい。
いらっしゃい。
お前今日レートショー見に行くって。
レートショー。
ユキこそバイトじゃ。
お前の見つけた敵役って菊野さん？
お前が言ってた心当たりも菊野さんかよ。
お前 ナンパとキャスティングを今度すんだよな。
区別しなしければ今度。Should be mixing work with pleasure? Yeah, mixing merger. 今度ナンパとキャスティングを今度。
ナンパとキャスティングを今度すんだよな。
バカ、お前いい映画にしたいだけだよ。お前こそなんか下心あんじゃないの？
下心？Being sincere, right? Secret desire.
お前こそなんか下心あんじゃないの？
こんばんは。
いらっしゃい。
これで何かお願いします。
いいよ。
女優自信ないけどやってみる。
本当に？
でもどうして？
綺麗って言ってくれたから。
絶対いいの撮るよ。これシナリオ。
コンビーフの缶詰好きなの？
うん、食べたくなってお供え物から持ってきちゃった。
お供え。I assume that like his together collection, make an offering. Oh, お供え物から。食べたくなってお供え物からできた。OK。
うん、食べたくなってお供え物から持ってきちゃった。
お供え？
お供え？お墓？
まあそんなようなもの。
誰の？
私のお墓。
自分のお墓から？
そう、おかしいでしょ。
All right. Which, I mean, actually, though, like I said, I've visited my grave frequently, but that's just because, again, you purchase the plot of where where your remains will be placed after the cremation. Well, 90 days after cremation. Okay. So where is she going? So, okay, looking at her phone. Now, is this supposed to be, are they trying to make it a genuine? Huh. Okay. It's okay. One of those where she gets to jump. So they're trying to make it a real ghost story, huh? Oh.
おい勇気まだかよ。てか本当に来んのかよその子。
菊野さんつながった。
おかけになった電話番号は現在。
現在使われておりません。
Yeah, you get to hear that often. おかけになった電話番号は現在使われておりません。Just can't connect.
恐れ入りますが、番号をお確かめにな。
恐れ入りますが、電話番号。確かに。
結局映画はどうなったの？
別の女の子探す気にもなれなくて、女優の出てこない話に急遽変更です。
ロケ地は槍水から変えたくなかったし、スタンド
槍水 Make sure about that. 槍水
スタンドバイロケ地は槍水から変えたく
槍水 Yeah.
なかったし、スタンドバイミーみたいな話を今大急ぎで撮ってます。
お急ぎ
スタンドバイミーって。
Make sure about this guy. そどけ Oh, what was this guy's name? You're not giving a name. Probably Yuiki, though. Let's see this one real quick. Citron, okay. Hmm.
スタンドバイミーって死体を探しに行く映画でしたよね。
うん。死体を探しに。
はい。
槍水は都内有数の心霊スポットだって。
槍水は、no, that's like the metropolitan area, right? Yeah, Tonai. Tokyo Bu no Tonai. Yeah, metropolitan area. I can't remember. Kainai. Tonai, Kainai. And prominent. Yusu no. And I know that's spirits, I'm sure, but let's make sure. Shirei spot. Alright, let's hear that again.
槍水は都内有数の心霊スポットだって知ってましたか？
知ってましたか？
そうなんですか。
1973年、女子大生が殺されて埋められた。
So it should be like a college student, right? Yeah, university student. 女子大生が殺されて埋められ。
女子大生が殺されて埋められた。大学の先生と不倫していたんです。
不倫していたんです。
槍水の別荘が2人の密会の場所だった。
別荘が、いや、槍水の別荘が2人の密会 Was that 密会 Yeah, 密会。密会の場所だった。
槍水の別荘が2人の密会の場所だった。
不倫？前のシナリオと一緒じゃん。
だけどその密会もついにはバレてしまう。と言ってもその子が自分で密告の手紙を奥さんに書いたらしい。下手な作戦だけど必死だったんだろうな。と言ってもその子が自分で密告の手紙を奥さんに書いたらしい。下手な作戦だけど必死だったんだろうな。彼女その時妊娠していたんです。しかし先生は奥さんじゃなくて彼女に別れを切り出す。
切り出す cut off? Or 切ることを始める。などを始める。Really? Start talks? Oh, the start, beginning of cutting off. Okay. See if there's a term for that as well. Yeah, they're not showing it. Starts, yeah, starting of beginnings of separations.
しかし先生は奥さんじゃなくて彼女に別れを切り出す。そして追い詰められた先生は彼女を殺して自分も一家心中した。自分も一家心中した。夏に埋められた彼女の遺体が発見されたのは雪が降ってる寒い冬の日だった。彼女はピンクのワンピースを着ていたそうです。
ピンクのワンピース？
二人は別荘で 缶詰でも食べながら不倫の愛に燃えていたんでしょうね。台所に缶詰の空き缶がたくさん残ってたという週刊台所に
その台所に缶詰の空き缶がたくさん。
缶詰の空き缶がたくさん残ってたという週刊誌の記事が生々しかったですよ。
週刊誌。
そういえば自分のお墓に缶詰あげてるって言ってた。
じゃそれって菊野さんが幽霊？
俺たちが缶詰盗んできちゃったからそれで。
They're overthinking it, but yeah.
なんだよ。
いや、いい。
なんだよ、言えよ。
実はさ、ロケハンの時の映像に
Would they be using tape even at that time? I'm trying to. It'd probably be digital. Okay.
あ、明日パイナップルの缶詰返しに行こ
う。うん。お線香もあげよう。
Let's see it. 線香。Okay. Burned incense. お線香も。
うん。お線香もあげよう。ごちそうさまでした。
早いね。どこか行くのかい？
私ね、先生と不倫してたんです。絹の道を調べているうちにあそこで殺された女子大生のこと知ったの。
うん。
彼女はもう一人の私。
うん。
ああ、そういえば私同い年の男の子たちと遊んだりしたことないなーって。あの二人と映画作ったら先生のこと自分の中で薄くなるかななんて。でもね、シナリオを読んだら不倫相手のセクハラ教授をやっつける話なの。
やっつけたかったんじゃないのかい？
やっつける。やっつける。相手のうち。うん。やっつけたかったんじゃない。
やっつけたかったんじゃないのかい？
私先生に口説かれたんじゃないの。
See that real quick. 口説かれたんじゃない。
私先生に口説かれたんじゃないの。
口説かれたんじゃない。
私が誘って私が口説いたの。だから辞める時も自分で辞めなきゃなって。殺されるのは嫌だし殺すのはもっと嫌。
Is that supposed to be the same guy?
だったら自分で死ぬしかないのかなって。 でも死ねなかった。
で、どうするんだい？
旅に行ってきます。海でも見ていろいろ考えてくるつもり。
もうバカなことを考えるんじゃないぞ。朝飯まだなんだろ？
特性。町特性。特別に。
お待ち。特製ツナマヨ丼。
特製。ツナマヨ。
いただきます。
Tuna, mayonnaise, and rice. Alright.
おいしい。
幽霊なんて本当にいると思います？
お客さんが言い出したんだよ。
幽霊でもいいからもう一度会いたい。
誰のこと？
その殺された女子大生好きだったんですよ、私。同じゼミでした。中年にはかなわないなーって。悔しかったな。中年にはかなわないなーって。
かなんね。かな？ Let's see that real quick. Kateki? Don't think it's Kateki. Kano. Yeah.
中年にはかなわないなーって。
かなわね。
悔しかったな。
All right, we'll let the play out, see if there's going to be a ghost story here. Okay, young girl in the backpack.
お、久しぶりだね。
どうも。とりあえずビールください。
はいよ。日に焼けて健康的になったな。
日に焼けて Let's see if that's full phrase. 日に焼けて健康的に。
日に焼けて健康的になったな。
元気と勇気たくさんもらってきたんだ。
何してんだい？
あっちで教わったの。マスターマッチ貸して。
で教わる。learn from. 教える。教わったの。
あっちで教わったの。
教わったの。教わる。教わったの。
マスターマッチ貸して。ありがとう。電気消して。
And light the oil. Okay.
ボランティアしてきました。海見て瓦礫の山で汗流してたら
海見て瓦礫の山。海見て瓦礫の山。汗流し。汗流し。
海見て瓦礫の山で汗流してたら気づいたんです。私の悩みなんて小さいなーって。
So 自分 or 私 Interesting.
私の悩みなんて小さいなーって。あんなことで死んじゃおうなんて最低だったなって。恥ずかしくなっちゃった。
おかえり。
Not really a ghost story, but kinda in different form.
ツナ缶とみじん切りにした玉ねぎとからしマヨネーズをあえ、お好みで少し味噌。ツナ缶とみじん切りにした玉ねぎとからしマヨネーズをあえ、お好みで少し味噌を入れても美味しいですよ。あとはご飯の上に盛り付けるだけでツナマヨ丼の完成です。
はい。
あ、マスター、これで何か作ってください。
あ、すぐ大会だ。
Don't be an asshole.
それではおやすみなさい。
おやすみなさい。
Okay, we'll end it there. Yeah, it took a little bit longer. Not too much longer. I mean, it's like 47 minutes. Sorry, about 2 minutes in. It wasn't really talking much over a lot of the sketches. So I was looking up a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of stuff to look up in this one. Again, just depends on the episode. Some episodes are going to go faster than others. But yeah, this one was kept around about normal, which is like 2 to 1. Is usual the rate of what needs to be read. And I would say don't let that get you down. Like, hey, okay, you're looking up stuff, because hey, you're not going to know a lot of things. And through the process of reading, instead of that's the benefit of having a computer there with a pop-up dictionary like Yomi-chan with some decent dictionaries if you get access to them. Like a couple of dictionaries that you see that I use. There's a Japanese dictionary, and then there's a pretty good one. Kinkyusha also makes a very good English or Japanese to English dictionary. Yeah, so they're both pretty good. And they pretty much help take care of a lot of any problems you're gonna have. I'm not a big fan of the just straight out translating the ones that just give you like, here, these are the words that they mean, and that's it. The Kinkyusha is good because not only it gives you also some very brief Japanese descriptions and then some additional English meanings, and then they give you sentences, example sentences using that particular word or phrase, which again gives you a bit more sense as to the full meaning, a deeper nuanced meaning of what the word brings to the table. Or even better, it's like, hey, in that sentence, in the example sentences is the phrase that was being used that you're looking up, and the phrase is much more important because it kind of changes. You don't want to, instead of a direct translation, it actually has sort of a similar meaning in other languages, and you kind of get through a phrase in because definitely for phrases, you want to be very careful. You don't say raining cats and dogs. You just don't say that in Japanese and assume it makes the same sense. It will not. It will not make sense. So again, having a sense of a better use of phrases will take you a long way. And again, this is just one way of doing it. But again, just keep reading, watching shows, having fun. If you put in more time than I'm putting in, you're going to get faster. That's it. I mean, there's the part of like, you can kind of correlate your level of Japanese with the amount of vocabulary that you have. Okay. If you got like 6,000 versus 10,000, you're better at 10,000. Got 15,000 instead of 10,000, you're gonna be better at 15,000. That's probably a pretty good gauge right there. And it's not too difficult to then, because of tools now, if you use Morphman, you can actually kind of track like how many of your, what's your vocabulary like, if you, depending on how well you use Morphman with your Anki deck. As opposed to also though, the amount that you've read, the amount that you've immersed in, especially the more comprehensible it is that you've immersed, then the better you are. You know, someone who's watched about 1,000 hours of shows is going to be better than someone who did 500 hours. At the same time, someone who's watched 2,000 hours of show, and again, comprehensible shows. And so if you watch it with Japanese, with English subtitles, okay, it didn't do you much good. But let's say they watch it in Japanese, then yeah, those that do 2,000 better than 1,000, 4,000 better than 2,000. So it says the more you do, generally the better you are. And expect to be about, I'm assuming to get up the equivalent of M1 level, you know, have about 1,000 study hours with, you know, 5 times that in immersion, 5 to 10 times that in immersion, in order to have an expectation as to, you know, now you're approaching, you know, native level fluency when it comes. That's assuming you're starting from English learning Japanese. That's different than, like, you wouldn't put in those number of hours. You know, it's probably be like a quarter of that if you're going from English to Spanish. But yeah, so you're going to learn vocabulary a lot faster in Spanish, most likely because there's a lot of carryover with cognates and whatnot. But you still need to then experience stuff in Japanese. You know, read stuff in Japanese. Or I'm sorry, read stuff in Spanish and watch stuff in Spanish. You know, to get that, you know, again, that sense of how the language works. That way you're not talking like someone who knows all these words but never really practiced putting it. And then comes the final thing is to get able to probably speak. And again, I'm guessing on this, and I could be wrong, is to get better at speaking, you need output speaking. You need to output. Now, there's the directed output, which is, hey, listen to what you hear and repeat. That's direct. That gets you used to saying stuff out loud. And, you know, you fall into, you definitely start leaning on patterns, you know, which makes it sound natural as you know, say stuff. There's that. And then you can also practice the output, you know, that's where iTalking comes into play, where you can grab essentially pay for a native to correct all your Japanese. Because you don't fall in a trap to think, oh, I need to speak to someone in Japanese, because they're under no obligation to correct anything you do. Just because you're talking to someone in Japanese. They are not. In fact, they probably won't. If they assume they understand what you're saying, hey, good enough for them. Same thing like if they were speaking English, you're probably not going to correct most of their mistakes that you're going to be hearing. Because again, you're not under obligation, you probably feel rude doing so. And even if they told you to correct it, you'd probably stop it because again, it's not really your job and you're not really, maybe have trained yourself to do it that often. Whereas with iTalki, if they've made it a part of their job, and that's sort of like the purpose of their hour that you're paying for, then yeah, they're more likely to correct you, and you know, it'd be more beneficial. And like I would also mention though, if you do that, probably a good start is read something out loud into it and record it, and then listen. Then y'all both together on iTalki listen to that, and then they can make corrections, and you can hear how the differences are. Right? Because it's really difficult. It's kind of difficult to make corrections of what you're saying if you don't hear what you're saying. And it's hard to hear what you're saying when you're talking, if that makes sense. You may not pick up the mistakes that you're making. But if you record it, then all of a sudden it might become clear as day because you've listened to a lot of Japanese. You know what Japanese should sound like. And you're hearing how yourself speak. It's like, yeah, that does sound wrong. Okay. So anyway, that's just a suggestion. I think it could work. You know, again, you do have to practice output. Same thing like if you want to practice typing. First, I'll start off by, you know, writing Japanese text. You know, you see it, look in the screen to start practice typing, you know, what you see it. Then you can kind of be creative, like type something out, but change it, make it to yourself. And then so you can be creative on your own. So those are some things you can also do with practice talking. Here's a speech of someone, you know, introducing themselves in Japanese, right? Then all you're going to do is like, okay, I need to help work with the native to start replacing or adapting that to apply to yourself, and then work on that introduction. It could be 2 to 5 minutes long. Then add another 2 to 5 minutes of some other subject that's connected to the introduction, then another 5 and another 5. This actually works out quite well. And it sounds weird that you say like for every hour you're probably going to make like 2 to 5 minutes worth of material, but you know, that's pretty normal. If you've ever done studying, you know, when you first add a card, you got to learn what this card means. For example, you tend to make a lot of time for that one thing. And after that, it's easier. You know, being able to say it after that, cool. You're not taking an hour to say that 2 to 5 minutes worth of material. You're just taking 2 to 5 minutes. But yeah, you just slowly add on to it. You know, if you do that for a few sessions over, let's say, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, if you're being consistent, now you've built up an hour's worth of material. And then later on, you know, 6 months later, you built up 2 hours worth of self-introduction material. And then what you're finding out with self-introduction material like that you've built up that's become related to yourself is that that's material you can refer back to and grab on in regular conversation. You're not going to give a 2-hour speech about yourself in every conversation, but within that 2 hours of speech, self-introduction, you prepared about yourself and at different aspects of your life, what you do in the morning, what you do in the afternoon, what you do in the evening, about your family, about where you were born and raised versus, and then also maybe a little bit about, you know, the time you were learning Japanese or in your job, daily job. These are all little subjects that you can do about 2 to 5 minutes worth of speech on. And then once you've learned how to give a speech at 2 hours worth of your life, that's 2 hours of material you can draw upon anytime to when having conversations, if you're having to talk about something that's related to what you know. And soon you get used to then using that process to add in new material, you know, where you don't have to, hopefully without the use of a tutor. But again, don't be worried. If you're going to pay for something, I think paying for a tutor to help with your output is going to be really important because they're going to pick up on all the mistakes. But you don't need to worry about that early on. A lot of it, that's why we kind of stress the input stuff. Like you don't need a tutor in order to deal with listening or to deal with reading too much. For the most part, most of the information is available. You're good to go. And maybe for the occasional phrase, but again, that's there's so many resources to help with that as well. I'm going to end that there. Thank you all very much. This has been Shinya Shokudo Season 2, Episode 5 or 15, depending on how you look at it. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you like the series, subscribe to see more. If you like what I'm doing with the Let's Learn Japanese project, you can support that by becoming a member of the Patreon. Links below, as well as links to the website and the community Discord. And finally, if you want to hire me on commission, the hourly rates and the payment are also done on the Discord. There's a direct link below. And again, that's for usually technical assistance or advice or getting started. All right. Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Merlot, for the comments, and anybody else has checked it out. And I'll be back with Episode 6, probably today, but what was that, July? Yeah, so this video will be made available on July 26th, and then the next one will be July 27th. I think that's about it. Thank you all very much, and see you next time. See you next video.